Hello and welcome to a SlimeVR tutorial where I will explain you how to set up your SlimeVR trackers. No matter if you make your own trackers or you have review trackers from SlimeVR, I will be explaining how to set them up, how to update the firmware, and I'll also explain later in the video how you enable over-the-air updates. Make sure you have a tracker by hand, preferably assembled. That would be super smart. Make you laugh way easier. So if it's assembled already, then we're ready to go. The first thing we are gonna do is install Visual Studio Code. We need that program to upload the firmware to the trackers, to our D1 Mini, and to make the trackers working. I'm currently making a folder, especially for this video tutorial. I've uninstalled everything, so I can show you guys how to do it. Just follow the steps with me. I create a folder where I will put all the files I'll be downloading for the SlimeVR trackers. When you have Visual Studio Code downloaded, you obviously want to install it. Install it to whatever you want. It doesn't really matter if it's on a CD, whatever drive you want to. Do it to whatever drive you feel comfortable with. And as soon as you've finished installing the program, you do want to install some add-ons to make the code run properly. You are going to want to install C/C++ and you want to install Platform IDE. It is literally just a click of a button, and it's not too difficult, and it will be done within seconds. What we're now gonna do is install the drivers for the D1 Mini. By the way, all the links to the software you can find in the description if you need it. Else you can also find them on the SlimeVR doc website, which is also linked in the description. This is needed for your PC to recognize your device and to be able to use your tracker. You simply just click on install. For me, it will say that the install is filled, but in your case, if you're installing it for the first time, it should say that the installation is successful. The next thing we are gonna do is install the Git client. And what Git client basically is, it's from GitHub. GitHub is basically a platform where people put programming, like where developers get together and share their software, or you know, it can be literally everything, 3D printing stuff and all of that chisel. But you need that for Visual Studio Code because the firmware is published on GitHub. Alright, and when that is done, we'll be going back to our beautiful program, Visual Studio Code, and start working with the firmware. Alright, and as soon as you're back in Visual Studio Code, you want to click on Source Control and click on Clone Repository. What that will do is open up a URL bar basically, and you're gonna copy the URL of the GitHub for the firmware, which is also in the description. Copy and paste it there. I will open up a window where you will select where you want to download the firmware files to. You see me struggling a little bit to find the folder because I'm stupid, but yeah, put it in a nice folder where you can find it easily. And then you want to click on open to open up the file, and then you want to click on cross all the outers of the file, and then it should open up the firmware. Then you wanna encode line 22 and 23, and where it says SSID, you'll be entering your router name, and by the password you'll enter your Wi-Fi password, so your tracker knows where to connect to. Make sure it's the 2.4 GHz network. 5 GHz is currently not supported. Just a side note, I don't really care if you see my Wi-Fi code, except if you're my neighbor, but if I see you on my network, I'll kick you the fuck out. The next thing that you want to do is go to src and find the file defines.h. This is where you define what kind of gyroscope you're going to be using. Either it might be an MPU, or MVNO. The supported MPUs, MVNO versions are also in the docs and are also found in the Discord of SlimeVR, which are also linked in the description. My IMU is a MPU 6C50. You can also define a second IMU, which is used for extensions. I always fill them both and with the same name, just in case. I don't think it matters that much, but make sure you enter the second IMU as well when you're using extensions on your tracker. The second thing you want to do is change the IMU rotation. This basically means how are you wearing your tracker. I'll put a picture on the video right in the right top corner, which tells you in which degrees you have to put it in here and the code. Basically, it's just how you will wear your tracker and what position the gyroscope or the IMU would be in when you're wearing that as a tracker. Then just simply click on build to save the changes that you just made to the code. And after using the build option, you can transfer it over to your tracker. You need to connect your tracker through the D1 Mini to your PC, and then you click on build, and it should be able to detect the tracker straight away. Make sure to not unplug it until it says it's done. If you get any errors about it not being able to connect to your tracker, please try another USB cable or USB port. I've had this issue a lot, and I figured out that some USB cables just don't work. Some USB cables are meant for just charging, and some USB cables are meant for data transfer. When you click on the alien icon, I would love to call it the alien icon, you can also click on the faces and see if the software sees your tracker. Make sure you don't have your phone connected or anything else except for your mouse and your keyboard and your microphone and all that. No phones and no USB sticks, just your tracker, and it should show up in this list. If you just connected that, you can click on refresh and see if it's done there. Then last but not least, we're gonna install the SlimeVR server. You can find the link in the description. You just wanna install this. Again, doesn't matter which drive you put it on, it really doesn't matter. Make sure to install it, and if it asks about the firewall warning, just accept it, just allow it, because it won't do any harm to your PC. So when you connect your tracker through USB cable to your PC, it should show up in the SlimeVR software. Make sure to assign that to where you want to wear it, your chest, your waist, your left leg, right ankle, etc. And also on the other drop down box, you can also choose if you're wearing it on front of you, on the back of you, on the left side of you, or the right side of you. And also, on the right bottom corner, you see waist, legs, chest, and knees. Check mark what you're using. If you're only using waist and leg trackers, keep those checked. But if you're also using the chest and knee trackers, please check them, else they will not work. The last thing you want to do is you might want to open up over-the-air update. What you want to unquote is line 33, 34, 35, 36, and platform io.ini. And by upload port, you want to write the IP address down that is shown on SlimeVR, which might be a bit confusing in my video because on my SlimeVR software, it's a different IP address. I'm not sure what went wrong there, but you should take over the IP address that is shown on SlimeVR software and put that into Visual Studio Code, and it should be able to wirelessly upload the firmware to your tracker when you have it turned on, obviously. Alright, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it helped you out. It can be a bit much and it can be a bit confusing. Even if there's instructions on the website, it sometimes can be a little bit confusing, and I hope this gave you some, well, clearance about what you have to do. If you have any issues, feel free to leave a comment. I'll try to help you out. If I cannot do it, we also have, they also have a beautiful and helpful Discord, which is also linked in the description. They have a lot of channels, and you can also ask your questions there if you still can't figure it out. Thank you so much, guys, for watching, and yeah, give it a little like if you like it, you know, just do it. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and goodbye.